Okay, I wanted to explain how to find the area of a trapezoid because it can be a little confusing. The formula can be a little confusing if you don't have any basis or background for it. So the formula is this: A equals 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height. So that can be pretty confusing. Like, what does that mean? Base 1 and base 2. So I wanted to use two congruent trapezoids to show you. So they're congruent. They're exactly the same. You see that? Two congruent shapes, exactly the same. So I wanted to show you where we get that base 1, base 2 from. Okay, so you see we have the two congruent trapezoids. If I turn the trapezoid this way, you can see that that makes a rectangle, right? That makes a rectangle. So I'm going to do my best to hold this straight and draw the rectangle, right? That's the rectangle. And we all know how to find the area of the rectangle. We say base times height, right? So I'm going to tell you that this, and give you the dimensions of this shape right here, okay? So this length right here is going to be 6 centimeters. This is going to be 3, no, not 6. Let's say 8. 8 centimeters. So this right here is going to be 4 centimeters. Cross that out. This is also 4 centimeters. I actually measured it. It is the same length. Okay. And then this over here will say, I don't know, is 5.3 centimeters, this diagonal right here. Okay. So when we look, right, so if that's 8, and this is congruent, right, so if that's congruent, and this part is 8, and that part's 4, so when I flip this, right, this part's still 8 because it matches this part right here, right? So this is going to be 8 centimeters as well. And this down here matched this part up here, so that's going to be 4 centimeters. So the base of our rectangle is 12 because 8 plus 4, that equals 12 centimeters. So our base, so our area is going to be 12. Base is 12, and then times our height of 4. So 12 times 4 is 48 centimeters squared. So that's the area of the what? That's the area of the rectangle, right? That's the area of the rectangle when we put two trapezoids together. So if I want the area of just one of the trapezoids, right, I took that and I broke it in half. That's where the half comes from. You see that? You break it in half. So we got to take that 48 and we got to say 48 divided by 2, and that's 24 if you didn't know. So the area of a trapezoid is 24. So the area of this trapezoid is 24. The area of this trapezoid is 24. And if we add it together, that's where we got the 48 for the area of the rectangle. Okay? So you can see where the half comes from because we have to divide the area of the rectangle in half. And I bet you can already see where we got what we have to add together. So this base 1 and this base 2 is just a way to write it so that you can know you have to add two things together, right? So it's just a way to write it. So you see it right here, right? Whoops. That we have to add the 8 plus 4. Notice, doesn't matter if the 4 comes first or the 8 comes first. Because remember, addition is commutative, right? So it doesn't matter which one you put first. 4 plus 8 is 12, and 8 plus 4 is 12. And that's what will go right here in that formula. Okay, so if I put those numbers in the formula, right, 1/2 pen is running out. 8 plus 4 times our height's 4, right? Times 4. You have to follow order of operations, so you have to always do PEMDAS. That's why we taught it to you, so that you could use it. Okay, so we add first. 8 plus 4 is 12. We talked about taking half of something is divided by 2, so half of 12 is 6. I'm going to have to come over here. Half of 12 is 6, and 6 times 4 is 24 centimeters squared, which is what we said. Oops, I didn't put my units there, which is what we said the area was on those two things, right? So that's how you find the area of a trapezoid. Now, one thing we have to notice is how do we know what the bases are? Like, why didn't I add 4 plus 4? Well, the reason is, well, and if I turned, let me say it this way. If I turn the trapezoids this way, I still have to add 4 plus 8. And 8 plus 4. So some of you might have been thinking, oh, it's just the bottom and the top. But it doesn't have to be the bottom of the top. It could be the sides. Even if I took this and I turned it sideways like this, I would still have to add together 4 and 8. Right? So there's a relationship between the 4 and the 8 in the trapezoid. Does anybody know what it is? Anybody? Anybody? I know. Y'all can't answer me. It's that they are parallel to each other. Hopefully you remember parallel are two lines. They go on forever. They'll never touch and they'll never meet. So if I had the trapezoid this way, it would be that way. If I had it this way, those lines would be parallel. If I had a cricket, those sides would be parallel. Okay? So the bases of the trapezoid have to be the parallel sides. Okay? They have to be the parallel sides. Doesn't mean top and bottom. It has to be the parallel sides. Okay? So that's how you find the area of a trapezoid. And we're going to practice with number 2 on the paper.